Hello. For this video, I will be going through our course syllabus. Welcome to EDI 531 or 431, depending on your school level. This is literacy in the content areas. Over here in the course menu, on the left-hand side, you'll go down to where it says syllabus to access your course syllabus. When you open this up, you will notice that there is a Google Doc here, as well as this video that I'm currently recording will be pasted in this section here. It is 8/26, so I'm actually 3 days ahead of when I said I would get it out to you, which is a bonus for me and for you. The very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up this Google Doc. And when you come to this Google Doc, one thing I want you to pay particular attention to is this really fancy feature called the document outline, which is over here on the left. Okay, so sometimes it pops up as a icon, a piece of paper icon with bullets. You're going to want to click on that to open it up, and this will allow you to jump to various sections without having to scroll, and you'll be able to find things quickly. Okay, I love this feature in Google Docs, and I hope that you consider using this similar approach when you are working with your own students in the future. So again, like I mentioned, this is literacy in the middle school and high school. This is the part 1 of a 2-part course series. This is the fall 2021 semester here at SUNY Brockport, and this currently is a hybrid course, which means we will be meeting both in person and online. In person will be held in Cooper 004 on Thursdays, and online weeks will be, or virtual weeks will be asynchronous, which means you'll be working on your own on various tasks and projects. I like to start all of my syllabi off with an inspirational quote, and Goldie Mohammed shared William Whipper's quote from 1828, and I just thought it really spoke to one of my deepest philosophies with literacy, as well as something that I think should be deeply rooted in all classrooms. And it is, "It shall be our whole duty to instruct and assist each other in the improvement of our minds, as we wish to see the flame of improvement spreading amongst our brethren and friends." And I just think when we're in classes together and we're working on our coursework, we are really here to just help each other and instruct each other and guide each other through this process. And then in turn, we're going to go into the classroom and be that facilitator for younger minds. And I just think this is so interesting and so inspiring, and it really does lead to an improvement in our society when done well. So that was our motivational quote for this class this semester. My information is right here, Janine Pizzo, MSc, so that means I am Mrs. Pizzo still. My pronouns are she, her, or hers, and my email is jpizzo, very simple, pizza with an O, jpizzo at brockport.edu. You'll notice my phone number here is my cell phone number. It is currently out of commission, and hopefully by the start of our course, it will be back in working order. But if you call and I don't get back to you, please, please, please email. My office hours will be Wednesdays, 12:30 to 2:15 p.m. and Thursdays, 11:30 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. Ew, what happened there? Ugh, making typos here. Excuse me. If you cannot seem to make those meeting times, you can always email me and set up an appointment, and I will gladly meet with you via Zoom. If you are uncomfortable coming to campus or are having some situations that you need to deal with and you just want to meet through Zoom, please give me a heads up. And that's that. Course overview, we have Thursdays, 2 o'clock to 3:15. We will be in Cooper, room 004. I did put the in-person dates here so that you could write them down in your calendar and have them at the ready so that you know exactly when we are meeting. In-person sessions are required, so please do your best to get to class. However, I understand if something comes up and you need a day, then please just let me know so that I am not waiting for you. Any unexcused absence will be marked as a 0, so keep that in mind. We have a mask policy here in class as well. I do ask you, all individuals, regardless of your vaccination status, to wear a face covering throughout our class. Brockport does have a student code of conduct, and failure to comply with wearing a mask during our class in-person sessions, it may result in a disciplinary action. I really don't want to have to deal with this, so just wear your mask and we'll be good. Okay? So let's get into literacy in the content areas and why it's important. Okay. First and foremost, you want a job, right? So you're going to have to be able to answer the questions about literacy that are going to happen in your interviews. Okay. No matter what content area you are in, you are going to be helping students navigate difficult vocabulary, problem solve in a language-based environment using the language of your content area, and they're going to have to be able to read and write in a multitude of different formats, right? So you need to have strategies and technology and other best practices in your toolbox to be able to guide your students through that learning process in your class. And I really deeply feel you have a moral obligation to provide the best learning experiences for your students. Just showing up and putting activities in front of them is not enough. I did include the course catalog description below, as well as the course objectives. I will not spend time reading those to you because I do believe that you'll be able to read them on your own. But if you have any questions after you've read through them, please just reach out and let me know. We have 3 required course texts for this class, as well as 1 recommended text. The recommended one is one of my favorites, which is why I made it recommended, even though it came out what it seems now eons ago. But I really enjoyed this. I was part of a professional learning experience with a lot of different content areas, and we all had a really great conversation around all of those. So if you want some more concrete strategies, this is a great text to use. The required texts, though, come from our International Literacy Association recommendations, as well as ones that I have evaluated myself. And the first one is Doug Buell's Developing Readers in the Academic Disciplines. It really is important that you know that this is a 2nd edition text, so make sure you get the correct edition, or your page numbers may be off and content may be missing or not updated. We also have Lent's book here. This is Disciplinary Literacy, Reading, Writing, Thinking, and Doing from Corwin. I think you're going to really love how this book text is set up, as well as all of the different spotlights that are throughout the book and chapters that reflect different content areas. And then my all-time favorite book from 2020 is Cultivating Genius. If you do not follow Goldie Muhammad on Twitter yet, please do so. She is one of the leading educators for equity in the classroom right now. And this book right here is one that every educator should really have in their toolbox. So I think that we're going to actually start the course off with this text, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. Moving on to grading, depending on if you are in the graduate course or in the undergraduate course, there are different expectations. For our undergraduates, you have to get a C+ or higher in order for this class to count. If you get below a 77, you will be required to retake this class. However, I anticipate the majority of us will fall in this top area here, and I hope it stays that way for this course as well. If you are in the graduate level course here, the lowest grade you can receive is an 80, which means you must have a B- or higher for this class to count, or you must retake the class. So keep that in mind when you are working. Evaluation. I have information both on grading and feedback, as well as plagiarism. Grading and feedback, I will do my best to return all graded assignments to you before the end of the next module. So when Module 1 ends, throughout all of Module 2, I will be grading and assessing your work for Module 1. And my goal is, and I've not failed at this yet, is getting everything turned back to you before the end of the next module. I will provide comments when necessary and when needed, both as celebratories as well as revisions. So just keep an eye out for those. If you don't know how to use Blackboard's gradebook, or if you don't know how to look at your grades or comments, please just reach out and let me know, or ask a friend. Plagiarism. If you're using anything that is not yours, pictures, graphs, obviously information from texts, please don't plagiarize. I have plagiarism checkers for all of my assessment built right into Blackboard, so Blackboard will notify me if you have something that looks a little copied or plagiarized, and it will alert me. We are using APA 7th edition. you can Google those formats and be able to figure that out on your own, or you can purchase the handbook. I did not require that because you can find free information online. If you do end up finding yourself in a situation where you have plagiarized and I have to contact you about it, you may fail an assignment, you may actually fail the course, and you may actually be suspended from our program. So just keep in the back of your mind, I do enable the checker for you. So before you submit anything, Blackboard will alert you if they think anything is suspicious. So you can always check that out if you are worried. You're going to be assessed 3 different ways. I have the course or the gradebook weighted in Professionalism, readings, responses, and module activities, as well as module final assignments. Professionalism is 5% of your course grade, and since you are going to be a teacher, it is really important that you start acting like a professional. Participation is key, and I'm talking about active participation. Sharing your thoughts, listening to others, building upon ideas is really important. I do understand and appreciate my introverts in the classroom, so participation can look different in a variety of ways. It does not mean you're always talking out loud. That is not what I mean. It means that you are being thoughtful and connecting either verbally or through written discussion. When communicating with me, it is important to recognize that we are professionals and your emails should follow as such. If you want to email me or if you want to email up here, please make sure you are formal with your initial email. And please, please, please make sure that you are writing the course number in your email's subject line. EDI 431 or EDI 531. I'm currently teaching 6 different classes right now, and module dates are actually very close back. So if you say, oh, I need help with a final module assignment, and you don't tell me what course you're in, there might be a delay on my end in terms of figuring out which class you're actually in. I usually have it down pretty quickly, but it will just make my life a lot easier if you could help me out with that. My email policy is if you email me, I will get back to you within 48 hours. Okay. I will be less likely to email back on weekends because I really am trying to practice self-care and remove myself from work during that time. However, if due dates fall on weekends, I will obviously be there to help. But just give me 48 hours before freaking out and sending a follow-up. If we meet face-to-face in my office, please wear your mask. You can always chat over the phone. I did give you my personal cell phone number, and like I mentioned, hopefully it will be fixed by this afternoon. You can call or you can text, whatever works for you, but please make sure that you put your name down somewhere and the course number just so that I'm not, confused. Okay. The other thing is, as long as you are participating and you are communicating, you'll receive full credit for this. Readings, responses, and module activities will be 30% of your grade. We're starting to shift from this mentality of how is this affecting my grade, to how is this activity or this information that I'm receiving going to help me as a teacher. Everything I've put in front of you is something that has either research has stated is really important or is something that I wish I knew when I was a first-year teacher or a beginning teacher. So I want you to really shift your thinking away from, oh, this is a to-do list, I have to do all of this work, to something where it's, how am I going to take this information and put it into practice? How am I going to have this information help me in my classroom? Okay. When you're reading, I recommend marking up your text or using a reader's notebook or color-coded writing activities so that you can really read and think. You can't just read a text and then move on. I mean, some people can, but the majority of the human population needs to interact with the text, and that is part of literacy. When you are reading something, you have to interact with it, and the same thing you'll have to do with your students. So find a way that works best for you and go from there. The rubric for our course is a 12-point rubric. You'll notice it here. You'll be assessed on your demonstration of understanding and thinking, the connections you make to the readings, as well as the response to your peers. Response to your peers isn't always required, so that part of the full expectations here. It just says it's not required, so that part would be exempt. But here is how you are going to be assessed. Most people fall within the 4 or 3 range, and the difference is this one shows a lot of original thinking connected to the readings and the activities, and this one just shows general understanding, where you're kind of just summarizing or regurgitating what is being stated without really making any concrete connections. Okay. This right here is where some people really lose points, and that's where the readings are personal or observed experiences from your SBTEs. Those are really what helps get those higher level scores. Spend some time with that rubric and make sure you're comfortable. Ooh, why'd that go down so much? Ugh. All right, final module assignments are 65% of your course grade. These are larger assignments that are culminating and asking you to synthesize those materials across a given module. So those are a little bit larger. Each assignment will have specific directions and expectations and rubrics. So you will be able to see and be able to self-assess before you turn it in. My course policy is pretty simple. Oops. Communication is key in this class. I think you're going to find that I am a pretty flexible and understanding educator, but that comes with you communicating with me. I wish I could read minds, although I'm kind of thankful I can't because I don't even want to know sometimes. But I cannot read your mind. If you are struggling or if you need something, just let me know. I will help get the help that you need. I will support you in any way that I can. And even if it's for other classes, not just mine. So just reach out and let me know if you need something. The other thing is I spend so much time with your modules, creating them and organizing and crafting them, that sometimes I get too close to the module. So it appears, and let me tell you, I make sure as much as I can that everything is clear and organized for you. But if something is unclear and you're not quite sure what I mean, please just reach out and let me know. I want to make sure that you are being successful, because a failure of you is a failure to me. And I just really want to make sure that we're all on the same page and feeling supported and successful. It is important to note that each module, with the exception of Module 1, is roughly around 17 days, and you'll be expected to complete the readings and the tasks during that time. That means there's a lot of stuff to do in 17 days. That does not mean wait until day 15 to get started, because you will not be able to finish it. Okay, you must get started. I recommend the day I release a module, go through it, write down things that you are noting, and make a planner for the next 2 weeks that module will be open. Okay, if you need an extension, just let me know and I will gladly help you through that process. But please, please, please start planning when you get a module. And just so you know, I did include the modules here. I have module 1 through 7 already outlined, as well as the initial discussion board post due dates, as well as the time that the module closes. Remember, when a module closes, you cannot submit any late work after this date unless an extension has been granted. No exceptions, okay? So I recommend during this time going through and on your planner writing down September 4th, Module 1 is due, September 22nd, Module 2, Module 3, October 9th, and so forth. The more you can plan for this, the better off you will be. And each module will have a reading assignment or a reading engagement activity followed by a final assignment there. Okay? All teachers must follow the professional dispositions set by the Brockport Professional Education Unit. And the qualifiers are here on the right, and they describe positive outlook, integrity, respect, self-awareness, dedication, and professionalism. If you are in violation of any of those, you may be subject to a referral being written, in which you will have to go in front of a dispositions committee. I hope that no one falls under this or falls into a situation where you are in a referral. But if you are, it's probably because you violated one of these qualifiers. Please just follow the professional dispositions as best as you can, and I imagine you will have smooth sailing throughout the program. Additionally, this syllabus has campus policies such as research help, the drop and withdrawal policies for the fall 2021 schedule, your academic dishonesty statement, cell phone and social media policy, the emergency alert system information, student accessibility services disability statement, sexual harassment and Title IX policies, the PEU conceptual frameworks, the COVID-19 safety measures that will protect all of us here at SUNY Brockport, seating and social distancing, healthy practices, as well as certification exams. If you need to reference any of those materials, they are in our course syllabus. And again, you can jump to where you need to go just by simply clicking on this module outline on the left. This does conclude the syllabus for our literacy course. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Again, my name is Janine Pizzo. I am working as your course instructor for this semester, and I'm really excited to get started and to officially meet all of you on September 2nd. I hope you have a great first week, and see you soon.